Okay, what are we working on?
We're just starting now, so it's just going
Okay,
to to YouTube now.
okay.
Okay, let's see here. Okay. All right, so we're live to YouTube. So
I have 6:15 on my calendar, on my clock. Is that what it is?
I've got 6:13 over here.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll call the meeting to order at 6:13.
Yep.
Cool. All right, Linda, do you want to go ahead or do you want me to?
No, I can go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, I'm present, Vice Chair Paul, Treasurer, Jules, Jessica, Leo. Leo's not here.
No.
Did we hear anything from him?
No.
Okay. Brian? And we have regrets from Joe and Andrew. Is that correct?
Yes.
And Denise, you're here. Okay. Disclosure of pecuniary interest, anything? Nothing that,
It's 31st. Everybody's got a copy, I assume.
Yeah.
Our operating account stood at 30,372.87 with outstanding checks of 6,385.99, giving us a balance of 23,986.88. Our reserve account stood at 66,951.07 with a little bit of interest, came to $67,047.73. Our outstanding receivables, you've got share cap, WFCU share capital, patronage shares. As you can see, everything is pretty clear there, but prepaid expenses and deposits of $2,384.42. Before I go any further, Denise, do we have a itemized list of the prepaid expenses and deposits?
We do have a detailed version.
Okay.
Detailed version is pretty extensive, which is why I just condense it. But in the
and that's fine. I just wanted to, if a question come up from the board as to what that 2,384.42 compiled of, that we're able to answer it.
Okay.
Okay, so total BIA current assets of 94,224.43. Current outstanding Tecumseh dollars of $50,090, giving us a balance of liabilities and equity at 44,134.43, and total BIA liabilities and equity of 94,224.43. And as you can see, our two levies that we received, one in March and one at the end of June, 33,000 each, giving us 66,000. And third quarter is due at the end of this month. Questions? Comments?
Oh, just a question, and Denise, I know you mentioned it a little bit, but we used to receive or the information, I think, of what that 2384 is, right? Just what's going in and out. The board used to receive that. So I don't know how others feel, but you know, when we received that, at least if there was anything in there within that 2,300, if anybody had questions on. So the board used to receive it.
And it's a good idea too, Brian, because when I read that and I don't see what it involves or what it entails, it's a question mark in my mind as to what it is. So Denise, maybe what we can do is on the next report, I don't know if we need a long list, or just that if we can itemize.
Yeah, we can do that. I know
in a short detail, so that the board is aware of, and it gives it more clarity, I guess, is really what we're after.
Yeah, we can do that. There's a list of like places that are automatic deposits every month. So that includes like rent, it includes all of the prepaid subscriptions, and it also includes the Tecumseh dollars deposits at the bank. So I can do that as well. I know he does it on a separate spreadsheet, our bookkeeper, but it would make more sense to have it underneath that for easier reading.
Yeah,
I can suggest that to him to have that in the same spreadsheet instead of a separate one.
Yeah, just to give it more clarity is what we're after.
Yeah. In my mind, I read it, and because I see the bills every month, it makes sense to me, but it makes sense that it doesn't make sense to you guys. So I can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else in the report?
You move your report?
Do we have a mover? Make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion to move it.
Okay. And a
Second?
seconder?
Am I allowed to either make a motion or second, being it's my report?
You
Or is
move
that-
it, you move it and then somebody seconds it.
Okay, so next time it's already been moved, so we need a seconder?
I'll second it. I'll second it.
Okay.
All in favor of accepting his report is read?
Yep.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, Paul.
My pleasure.
Okay, coordinator report.
Okay,
Okay.
so our financial information has stayed the same all year. So again, we have that $295 non-refundable deposit at Windsor Rock Gym. Pre-pandemic, they still have it, so maybe we can do something with that in the future. And we were also talking about the possibility of selling that, get that money back. Beach Grove Golf and Country Club, we have a January 2020 deposit for our would have been 2020 Christmas party that carried over to November. So we still have a deposit there as well.
Ask a question?
Yeah.
Can we, the deposit for Beach Grove, can we put that on paper? I don't think you have it on there, do you?
No, we haven't had the deposit on there. I'm gonna call them and see how much that is.
I think it was 500.
I thought it was 500.
Is it 500?
I was pretty sure
is,
it was
yeah.
5.
Okay,
Well, we just make note of it in the report.
yeah, I can do that. And I don't know if that one is refundable or non-refundable. I'm also gonna find that out too, because we were finding out about this year's Christmas party, which I don't think is gonna come to fruition. So if we could get that back, possibly, that would be great too. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but it'll be for a committee discussion, but.
Okay.
As for new businesses and members in the area, we've got Imperial Gifts and Decor that finally opened up. Their original grand opening was supposed to be in April and COVID pushed some things back. So they finally opened up in August. They're attached to Oven 360 Pizza. Odyssey Wellness and Services, they opened up at 12201 Tecumseh Road East. They are yet to do a grand opening. El Patron Mexican Grill, they open up where Artist Salad Bar and Grill was. And just recently, Urban Bud, it's a cannabis boutique. They opened up at 1614 L'Esperance Road. They opened up next to La Rucola. So they are there as well. They're where Unique Gallery Art and Coffee Shop was supposed to be, but they never even came to.
Yeah, never heard of them.
Yeah, they were going to open and then it just never happened. The sign was there and they never actually opened the business. So members preparing to open, we've got Bourbon across the street here at 12049 Tecumseh Road East. New Earth Wellness, they're going to open up at 152 L'Esperance Road where Slinky's is. Their official grand opening is going to be in March of 2022, but they're just paying their landlord right now to hold that spot. And they're currently renting at a reduced rate. So members preparing to close Shoebox. We're still unsure when she's going to officially close, but she's at 1614 L'Esperance Road. Members that are closed, of course, is the Unique Gallery Art and Coffee Shop, which is where Urban Bud is. And On the Dark Side Tanning Salon, they've officially closed their Tecumseh location as well. They're in talks of doing something else right now, but they haven't announced anything else. Their Windsor location still open, just a side note. Current status, our grand total right now still sits at 625. So we lost one and we gained one. So the numbers didn't change from last month to this month. If you guys want me to go over the detail of numbers, unless you have it there, I'll just leave it at that. So total members that can vote still stands at 625. So nothing's changed from last month to this month. New associate members, we've had Moni Hair Boutique and One Source Moving Solutions now for a couple. And the potential new members, I have a plan on how to approach them. But I'm also going to discuss that too with the committee members to see how we can go about that. I would like to get a few more on board. BIA social media continues to grow. So we have increased numbers on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter from last month to this month. We're continuing to do contesting on our social media. So last month we did a back to school Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader contest, which was super successful. And doing those contests keep helping us bump up our numbers on social media and getting the word out there about Tecumseh BIA and the Tecumseh Dollar program. And we continue to share posts for our members as well on all social media platforms. As for the Gallery Without Walls banner contest, we still have 5 people that are supposed to be picking up their little posters that we gave them. Still waiting on them to come and do that. They've been called a few times, so I'm just going to hold them here until they come. And our next Tecumseh Dollar launch date is going to be Monday, October 4th at 9:00 p.m. or as people like to come at 6 p.m. So
7:30 with their chair.
yeah, exactly. So that's it from me. There's not much that's changed from last month to this month. We're just continuing to socials and do some contesting.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
You made mention of a business that's in the Slinkies Plaza, and then you said 152 Les Bronx Road. 152 Les Bronx is Shores Edge.
No, next to Slinky's Plaza, the Healthy Mamas Plaza.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was just trying to give you a main location of a prominent business.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Where am I? The committee reports, the membership committee. Eyes on Tecumseh, continuing to execute Eyes on Tecumseh Business Spotlight. Our 9th feature will be coming up within the next week or two. Tecumseh Life, the marketing committee has decided to organize a fall winter publication. Committee reached out to this Windsor Star this month on to talks about confirming a package to move forward with. Social media, Denise is just giving you an update on that. And the BIA swag is in when the committee is working on a way of just how we're going to execute handing it out, giving it out to our different members. So that's all in the mix right now. The membership committee, there's nothing right now to report on. I believe, is that only that's just Jessica right now as membership committee. So we're gonna have to do something there. The beautification committee, Candace, Linden, or Paul and I. The mural, do you want to speak on that, Paul? You've been in touch with Dirks and David?
Yeah, well, I haven't spoken to David, that would be Denise's, but I did talk to Dirks, and Dirks did give us a startup mock-up, which I don't know, Denise, if you can screen share that or so everybody can see it. Is that possible?
I can, but I don't know if you guys want to put it public yet. Because we're live.
Well, yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Okay. Anyway, so Dirks is he's done a preliminary mock-up for us, and which is going to need some adjusting and some additional Tecumseh product, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. Mm-hmm. But other than that, that's where we stand. I think at this point we're looking to get David, or Denise, you could speak to that as far as David Hallowell.
Yeah, for sure. So the next steps that we have right now, we've compromised with David Hallowell on the conditions and terms that he wanted us to agree to. So we came to a compromise, and right now we're just going to be sending him the mock-up that Dirks gave us of the mural. So he can comment on the things that he likes and doesn't like. So that way we can go back to the drawing board and compromise on a finished piece that we all agree on. Because part of his terms and conditions is, of course, he wanted to know what was going to go on his wall, understandably so, before we actually executed the piece on his wall. So the next step that we're doing right now is we're just going to be sending him the mock-up via email for his approval. And with that, we're also going to send the new terms and agreements. So that way he signs it and sends that back as well with his changes that he wants to make with the mock-up. So that's where we're at in that. We haven't heard from Dirks yet when he's going to be doing this, but he just said before the bad weather. So I'm hoping it'll be either in September or October where we get this done. I think we're next on his list of places to do. So I'm hoping to hear from him soon, but everything's going to be going smoothly once we get word back from David Hallowell, which hopefully won't be soon now that we've got content to send him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one is the,
Oh, Linda, if I
sorry,
may,
sure.
just when the mock-up is completed, right? I'd recommend, sending that, to the entire board, and then that legal agreement as well will require, the board's approval for execution.
Okay.
So that, should come back. So, if you want to send that to the board for all of their, review and approval.
I can send that tonight, actually, right after this meeting. It'll take 2 seconds. So
Yep.
yeah, I can do that.
Okay, thanks,
Yeah,
Brian.
good idea.
Okay, the next, the wayfinding signage, I thought that we had made some, I thought I had made the motion to note and file that some time ago, but I see it's still on the list. But we haven't talked about anything like that. The bus shelter, we're still waiting on. The garbage can art, we're still waiting on, and the bike racks. I think with that, we found out, we've got them all done now, I think, aren't they all?
We figured out where a few of them are stored right now, because I guess pre-COVID, they were supposed to be
Right.
out to certain businesses, but we just have to reach out to those businesses and see if they still want them
Okay,
and if they have a way of installing them, because some of them have to install themselves based on if they're public or
or private property, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, the events committee, Joe and Leo, there's nothing, we can't do anything right now, so there's nothing to report on that. The governance committee was Joe and Jules and Joe and Jules. I understand you've reviewed the MOU, and I just wondering where it's at right now. I think, Paul, did you get a copy of that?
I did, yes.
Okay, I didn't get a copy of that, so, but I know Candace did, so I just don't know where we are as far as the MOU goes.
Yeah, we had, I know, so Joe and I and Candace actually met and chatted about the MOU, and so we went through it just to see whatever, and I guess it was sent already, and then with different things adjusted, and I guess we got it back status quo. I mean, back as all of our edits were taken out and it was going back to something else. So I have to meet with Joe again to go over this MOU again, but I don't think in my opinion, I don't think we're actually making a lot of progress on it. I just think it's gone back and just edited back. So I'm going to have to.
Can I ask who it was you sent it to?
It wasn't us that sent it. It was Candace that sent it before.
Sent
And
it
Candace
to,
asked us to look at it again. And I guess I really don't know. When Joe answered Andrew saying that this was sent out, and then so there was a little conversation after we had sent in our report, and Andrew said it was already done. So I don't know,
okay. We'll have
because
to
I
get a
haven't
hold of-
spoken to Joe. I haven't spoken to Joe since we last talked.
Okay. We'll have to
I
get a
think
hold of Candace and Joe.
Yeah, I think
Find
the
out where
first
it's at.
steps are just like sitting down with Mark at the
Yeah.
time. I think that's where we left off, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. We were
Yeah, with what Candace was saying before she left, but
Yeah.
I can triple check everything. I think, yeah.
Okay.
If I may, and I know I was on a couple of those emails on the weekend, so I had really questioned Jules to your point that the MOU was sent or responded, and haven't heard anything back, and I know Joe had forwarded I guess, this document here, which I don't know where this one came from. I don't know who created it. But there was a document, and I'd have to check on the date, right? But the CAO and the town did prepare an MOU and sent it over. But the document that was mentioned was sent to the town, which to my knowledge was not sent to anyone, is completely different than the MOU which the town had prepared, as a draft. So I would recommend starting with the draft that the town had provided. And then, if there is any revisions or mock-ups, changes, using that document as the template to go from, because the one that was provided, or the one that was sent, is nothing like the draft that came from the CAO's office.
Can you send me a copy of that one?
Yeah, I'll send you both, and
Yeah,
I have the other one, but yeah, you can send me both.
Yeah,
Just compare.
yeah, and then if there's any changes and things, please use the draft MOU, because I have no idea where this other one came from at all.
Denise, do you have both?
I should have both over here.
Okay, can you make me a copy of?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
thank you.
Jules, if you can't get a hold of Joe to work on it, you're more than welcome to reach out to me too, because I know I'm not on the committee or a board member.
Okay.
If you need help or anything, doors wide open. My phones are here
Sure.
to help you.
Yeah.
Yes, let's just get this done.
Yeah.
And do you know, if I could ask you, where was this second document? Where did it come from, or who drafted it, or where?
Are you asking
This
me?
was November. Hold on a second. Let me get back into my.
I know that we had asked other BIAs information to see if they had MOUs, and they may have sent a copy of what they had, because as we speak to other BIAs through OVIA, we ask questions and see how everybody else is doing things. So maybe it came from somewhere out there, Brian, but I don't know. I'll have to look through my pile of
This
papers.
is the one sent November 18th, 2020 to everybody. Or no, sorry, to BIA, to Paul, to Linda, and to Jules.
Okay,
And there's somebody else as well. Hold on.
okay, I probably got it here then.
And it's just the BIA. So yeah, it was yeah, it was an email sent with these attached, the attached draft. November 2020. It's actually dated September 24th, 2020, but it was sent out to us in November.
Was that from the town to the BIA?
No, that's from the BIA to us as a draft MOU to go back to the town with, I believe, is what Candace was working on.
I will try to find the email from the CAO's office. It may have come from Ellen or may have come from Monique at the town, but I will find that email. And then I'll attach, I'll send that one, and then I'll send the other one separately, just so we don't get them confused.
Okay,
But I would recommend, drafting off of what the town's already prepared.
Yeah, I'm pretty
So-
sure it's this one, right? I'm pretty sure it's this one. That's
Okay.
the original.
yeah, that looks familiar, Paul.
Page 1 of 8, memorandum of understanding, because I have
Yep.
both here also.
Yep, that would be it.
I know when people take documents, like download them and do changes and send them back, they'll rename them and I'll get stuck on like different versions of it. So even if we just come up with one name and make sure that when we send it back, someone's not saving it as a different one, because that's how documents end up
Getting lost.
with
That's
their
just
documents, because that's happened to me too. So it could be that as well. I don't know.
Okay.
I would just recommend making the change because you can make revisions within Word, right? To not lose, any of that. So just for everybody's time.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Move
Under
forward.
unfinished business, there's this strategic plan for 2021. I think we deferred that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes.
you did skip the council report earlier.
Oh, where is it?
Number 4.
I'm looking at the agenda. I'm sorry. Oh,
No.
8-4.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I saw committee reports and I just, sorry about that, Brian.
no, that's okay. So we didn't meet it at all in August, but we had a couple things that went on. Everybody may have seen the groundbreaking ceremony for the new pickleball court in Lacoste Park.
Mhm.
So that happened September 7th, and the facility there, just kind of behind the pool, right, really north of where the pool is. That's where we'll go. Hopefully, construction on that will, be completed, by mid-October, but it will be a new 10-court pickleball facility.
Cool.
Secondly, the town did reopen, right? Expand the in-person hours. So pretty much back to, full operation as of right now, under the conditions, for the next little while. And then we did have our meeting last night, and I just want to go through and I will summarize everything we did last night. So we had a couple public meetings just regarding some rezoning, and there was a property 1441 Shawnee, which they're looking to sever the rear of that property for a single unit dwelling backing onto Bruyette. So we did hold that meeting, and that rezoning will come back in front of council in the future. Last night at our 7 p.m. meeting, we were previewed and giving the initial draft budget. And this year, right now, things are sitting at 3.55% as a levy increase. So, it was first presented. We will have access to the budget document, I believe after October 6th or so, when public consultation closes. So there is a survey and there is an opportunity for the public to review and provide their input into the budget this year. But at this point right now, 3.55 is what things are looking like. There's been a lot of pressures from COVID. We did have an organizational review, and we have added a couple of positions within the town. So the operations are causing the levy to increase. But looking forward to hearing everybody's feedback and consultation on the budget, and then it will be deliberated in November and then accepted in December. Rail Safety Week will be held September 20th to the 22nd. And council did recognize September 30th as the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation within the town. Town Town of Tecumseh is also contributing some prizes to the WeVax campaign. So if you are aware, you've done the right thing, you've gotten vaccinated, you can enter the WeVax to Win campaign. We've donated some prizes. You can win your taxes paid for a year. You can win a dog license. You can win water park passes. There's a whole bunch of different things that every municipality is putting forward, but the county and the and the city of Windsor have put this together. So I encourage you, if you haven't registered, go ahead and get registered. Hopefully somebody, we can win some prizes. As you know, we do have the call for committee appointments. So the clerk was advised of Candace's resignation. So at this point, we do have 3 open positions, and we'll be calling for, at least 3. If we have some more, I guess we will, have to look over those. So if you know anyone who is interested, and I know, appointments to this board have been a topic of conversation. If you do know anyone, please encourage them to apply. And those applications will be open until some point in November, but then they will be considered at a special meeting November 23rd. Noise bylaw. We did make some noise bylaw amendments. So some changes we made exempts retail businesses, restaurants, including bars and cafes, hotel and motels, and goods distribution from facilities from this bylaw section. So any loading, unloading, loading, packing, unpacking, and handling of materials are exempt from the noise bylaw between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. So this was a provincial legislation change. So any of those activities are not subject to noise bylaw provisions moving forward. We did have quite a healthy surplus last year in 2020 of $1.7 million. And a lot of those surplus funds were then put back into the town's various reserve funds. So we did receive quite a bit of grants from the government, from upper levels of government, for a lot of our COVID related expenses. Those are within that $1.7 million figure. So it's not as though, we saved a whole lot of money. And now we have it to, cover future, we do have it to cover future expenses, but a lot of it did come from the government, can only be used for, certain purposes. And as you may recall, there were some one-time funding that we had to do for flooding and other things that we did take out of reserve. So this just basically covers a lot of those reserve expenses that we pulled out. So we, put it back into savings for future years. Just trying to see, we do have a screening process now. So we'll touch on it right after this, but the town does now have a mandatory vaccination policy. So further to that, we do have a screening process at the Tecumseh Arena. So anyone entering that arena will have to show proof of full vaccination and answer health screening questions. So we did approve, that report, and that'll go into effect as of September 22nd. Tecumseh Transit, we had a report on Tecumseh Transit. Ridership is down due to COVID, and hopefully but we are seeing a trend upwards with more people riding Tecumseh Transit. And as you would recall, we are in the middle of an on-demand transit study, and we will be going through a a transit study period, right, in implementing on demand. So that'll be coming forward, which will be pretty exciting. We also confirmed that we will be participating in Ontario's priorities housing initiatives for affordable rental housing. So what that does is provide rebates on taxes to multi-residential housing back to single dwelling tax rates. So it'll encourage the rental housing component in coordination with the City of Windsor, and just make sure that the region does have enough rental housing in the mix. And then we did receive the funding agreement for the trail along Riverside Drive. So as you would recall, it was August 13th that the announcement of $750,000 for the trail along Riverside Drive. Last night, we just approved the agreement to receive those funds. And our next meeting will be on September 28th. So does anybody have any questions? Denise?
Sorry. I know I talked to you about this the other day, Brian, but the link for people applying for the positions that are open on our board,
Yes.
is that something that is coming in the next week or two that we could post on our socials and on our website and send out to our members via email?
Yes, it should be up now. I'm just trying to cancel connect. What I'll do is I will find that link.
Okay.
And I will be able to send it over to you. I don't see it on our landing page right now, but
Okay.
I will find that call for the committees, and I'll be able to send that link over to you so you can push it out.
That's awesome. Perfect. Yeah, because there's some people are asking about it. So I just wanted to find the link so we can start pushing now and seeing a rise in applicants. So,
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Brian, are you still meeting through Zoom?
Yes.
Oh, do
Yeah.
you know
We
what-
haven't had any in-person meetings as of yet.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sorry I missed you there. Under new business, there's the COVID-19 vaccination policy, and I believe we all got an email concerning that, and it's a good read, something that we should all be aware of. So try to push vaccinations. I feel like
If I can just mention that, Linda,
Sure.
and I will verify, I can verify with the clerk, but there will be a link that that policy does cover all town employees, boards and committees. So it would cover this committee.
Mhm.
So vaccination is mandatory, and you will have to provide proof of vaccination, or there is medical exemption, or there's 4 categories. So there is a link to go in and complete that. So I'll just find out from the clerk, right, how that will roll out to the BIA, but just so everybody is aware, it is mandatory.
Okay, good. Okay, I feel like I may have missed something along the lines. But I've covered everything on the agenda.
Mhm.
Jessica, was there anything that you wanted? Nothing? Okay.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Jules, governance and that, we covered all that. Try to get copies of that so we can go over it again. Paul?
Hello.
Hello. We've started the budget process. So we almost have to finish that, and then we have to bring it to the board, so.
We'll have to figure out a good time to get together, what day and time.
Yeah.
And
Some of it.
update. What's that?
Yeah, we'll put a date together and finish that up.
Okay.
Just an
Okay.
update for you guys too. We are talking about like AGM stuff for October. It's more so a September matter than it was an August one. That's why I didn't want to touch on it, but you will be seeing stuff coming up about the October 20th AGM / RGM soon. So Jessica and I have been talking about that. So you'll see an email from us hopefully sometime early next week with all that information in it, just so you guys are aware.
Yeah.
Okay. And if anyone ever wants to use the, just a side note, if anyone ever wants to use the office, we've got this huge boardroom here. If you ever want to come and work on the MOU or anything like that, it's probably easier to do in person. We can ask, it's just me down here. So
Yeah.
if you want to use it, the door is open.
Okay.
And if I may mention as well, now that Candace has stepped down, in the Constitution, it does say vice chair shall assume the duties in the absence of the chair. So, unless Linda, you can't fulfill your duties or, anything, I would probably, recommend likely after the call and appointments of new individuals to the board, then at that time, we can do the elections for the executive at that point.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So that would be November?
Likely November.
Okay. All righty. No problem. So if there's nothing else, then our next meeting is Wednesday, October 20th at 6 o'clock, and that's the AGM and then the RGM directly after electronically. So is there a motion for adjournment? Jules, seconded? Paul? All in favor? Good night. Thank you.
Hey, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye,
Hey,
guys.
Denise,
Thank
before you
you.
hang up, I got a question for you, Denise.
Okay.
Sure. I'm just gonna end. Do you want me to end the live, or do you mind?
Yeah, you can end it live. That's
Okay.
a good idea.
Okay. Do you want to call me?
Sure, I'll give you a shout.
Okay.